Hey guys, I'm Alistair and this is the Hoka Mafate X. What is the Mafate X all about then? I mean, it looks pretty chunky and it's a trail running shoe. There's even a carbon fiber plate in here. So if you're thinking, wow, that sounds quite niche, then you're probably right. I think it is quite a niche running shoe, but what it does really well is help trail runners run really fast over long distances whilst maintaining that really nice cushioned feeling underfoot, helping to preserve your legs over longer distances. But it's not that good on technical terrain, so it really is for those kind of buff, moderate, easy trails or rolling hills, which just go on and on. So it's not really an all-mountain trail running shoe in my eyes, because that stack's just too high, and carbon fiber plates just don't give you the stability you need in the mountains. I've got a lot to talk about on this one, and I can't wait to share it with you. Let's start with the key specifications then. First off, they cost $225. That's quite a lot of money for a trail running shoe, but this is very niche and it's designed for ultra running, so it needs to be durable and it needs to have some features that make it worth that. And I will let you know by the end of this review if I think it's worth it. They weigh 11.7 ounces or 332 grams for a size US men's 9. That's not lightweight. And they have a drop of 8 millimeters from heel to toe. That's 49 millimeters under the heel and 41 under the forefoot. Now that is one of Hoka's biggest stack heights in a running shoe. And it made me a little bit scared thinking it's actually in a trail running shoe, because you need stability on a trail running shoe in general. So I'll let you know how it actually performs on the run in just a moment. The upper is really nice. It's very breathable. It's got a dynamic vamp. If you're wondering what a vamp is, it's not a vampire. It is the section of a shoe that kind of wraps around the front. This section here. Anyway, it's dynamic in here, meaning it does move with your foot a little bit. It's also got a gusseted tongue, which means the tongue is connected to the top of the midsole, which means you won't get any rubbing points and the tongue will stay in place nicely. Just as well because the tongue's really short. More on that in a moment. The heel counter has this TPU molded kind of cage of sorts, I would call it. That helps with stability, which is important in a high stack shoe like this. Otherwise you'll be wobbling all over the place and you're not going to have a good time. There's also some reflective detailing on here to help you be seen at night. If you are ultra running in shoes like these, then you're probably going to be running through the night. The midsole has a PEBA foam core with a supercritical EVA foam surrounding it. There's also a carbon fiber plate and Hoka's classic Meta rocker, which is the geometry of the shoe. It helps smooth out transitions from heel landing to toe takeoff. This one's also got an active foot frame at the rear, which just helps cradle your foot a little bit, giving you a little bit of extra stability on the run. When it comes to sizing and fit, the Hoka Mafate X is very much true to size and it has a medium width. Right now there's no wide version that I know of, but the toe box is pretty roomy, which gives enough room for your toes to splay when you are climbing or you are trying to generate more power as you run. So that's really nice, feels very comfortable and airy inside. The heel counter and collars are all really soft and padded, and it just feels very comfortable just to slip on. The tongue is very short. I do wish Hoka would make their tongues that little bit longer, just so that you don't feel the laces on top of your foot quite so much. It was the same with the Speedgoat 6. But although the tongue's very short, it does kind of stay in place, and the heel lock on this running shoe is pretty good. If you're enjoying this video so far, please give it a like. Very easy to do. Just look for that little like button and go BAM! And that will like the video. So I really appreciate it when you guys do that. Also comment on the video. It's really nice to know that you're enjoying the content. It you're engaging with it, and just let me know if you want me to review any particular shoes that you've got your eye on. That's where you put it in the comments, and if you've got a question about this particular running shoe, the Mafate X, drop them there as well. I always reply to every comment, as long as you're not being a knob. And if by the end of this review you're wondering where the Mafate X placed in my best trail racing shoes roundup on alistairrunning.com, then follow the link up there. I'll also put the link in the description. You've made it to my performance review. I'm going to start, as always, with the ride, which means I'm going to start with this midsole here, because that is what connects you, the runner, to the ground beneath. So it's the feel of the shoe, it's the heart, it is the soul of the shoe. Well, as you can see, it is big. That's a huge amount of stack height, and to many trail runners out there, you're going to be quaking in your boots right now. You're going to be thinking, what the heck? You expect me to run trails on a stack height like that? And those people are probably all mountain runners, runners who run on technical terrain. But there are also a lot of trail runners who like to run gravel paths or fire roads or buff, easy, moderate trails for long distances. And that's really what this one is for. And when you pair a high stack height with a carbon fiber plate, what you get is a highly cushioned shoe for landing. So that gives you leg preservation over many, many miles. But also it gives you a nice response from the stiff flex of the plate. So look, I'm really trying to flex this shoe and I'm really struggling. And what that means is this is going to be a much better shoe if you're running fast over non-technical terrain. That's the same with any carbon fiber plate. But the moment you take it on technical terrain, basically what you've got is this stiff plate. So any unevenness on the terrain is going to shift the whole shoe with it. There's no flex going on because the carbon fiber plate won't allow it. And that's a lot of the reason why I don't like carbon fiber plates in trail running shoes, because the type of running I like to do is all mountain running. I like technical stuff. I like to run up steep inclines, which means a stiff carbon fiber plate is not going to help me whatsoever. You're probably forming a picture by now what this shoe is for. It's very niche. It's for trail runners who want to run gravel roads, but also fire roads, buff trails. So hard trails that don't get too technical throughout your ultra running experience. Because honestly, this feels more like a road super trainer than a trail racing shoe. But for sure, this has really got a place amongst the niche crowd of ultra runners who really do want to run far and fast. But just be careful on technical terrain. I'm sure plenty of elite runners out there can handle it, but personally for me, and I think most runners out there, you're going to be better off with a lower stack height, a more flexible shoe, and one that just has more response over cushioning. I hope that makes sense, but if it doesn't, just ask me a question in the comments down below. Now, when it comes to outsole traction, it's got Vibram Mega Grip, so the actual rubber compound is fantastic. But the lugs on here, they're only 3.5 millimeters deep, which means they're not for mud or really dirty stuff where your shoes need to claw into the trail. And that's another kind of reason why my mind is going to the fact this isn't for technical trail running at all. It is literally for hard trails where you just want to run fast, which means you don't need deep aggressive lugs. Oh, by the way, it does have pizza slices and smiley faces under there though. So there's a plus. There is also a section of foam under here, meaning it is exposed. Won't be as good grip or durability in this section, so just be aware of that. I've got to mention the tongue again because it is a little disappointing that Hoka is making these tongues so short. I just don't understand it. Maybe someone in the comments can let me know about that. But the tongue's got a nice amount of padding on it, but there's no padding where your actual laces get done up. And that's where you're going to feel pressure from your lacing system on top of your foot. So I don't know why Hoka hasn't just extended that padding all the way to the top of the tongue, or just made the tongue longer. It would make so much sense. So hopefully in the Hoka Mafate X2, Hoka will fix that issue and the general fit will be much better because of it. You made it to my final verdict then. Is it worth $225? Well, if you sit in that bubble of niche ultra runners who like to run 100 milers on non-technical terrain, you just want to run as fast as you can, which puts you up into middle of the pack to elite runners. You want to run it as fast as you can, and you know there's no technical terrain on your course, then this shoe is going to be really good for that. But it is a very niche subset of people, because a lot of trail running does involve really steep inclines and technical trails, especially many of the European mountain races. So this shoe just wouldn't be any good for that. I think if you've stuck with me throughout this whole review, you're going to know if this shoe is for you. If you are looking for a more nimble, fast, agile, or shoe that's a lot more controllable on technical terrain, maybe you want to do some sky running, you want to summit and descend a mountain really quickly, then the shoe for you is going to be a much lower stack height, a much lighter shoe, because I forgot to mention, this is a heavy shoe. So for $225, I don't know, I just don't like buying heavy shoes for high price tags. So if you do want a more nimble trail racing shoe, head over to that link. I've got some options there for you. But if you just want an all mountain trail running shoe that's incredibly versatile and does everything really well, then head over to that roundup instead. I really hope you enjoyed this Hoka Mafate X review. I hope it gave you an idea of whether it's going to be a good pick for you or not. But again, if I missed something or if you've still got a question about it, just let me know in the comments down below and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.